Starship Flight 13's successful flight paves the way for full orbital operations. Let's jump straight into the telemetry. Look at these derived acceleration time graphs, red for 13, blue for Flight 12. We can see noticeably less throttling down through max Q, followed by an earlier MECO and hot staging. What we're looking at here is a more aggressive launch trajectory for the Block 3 architecture. Early on, the acceleration curves are nearly identical, suggesting the Raptor 3 engines were running at roughly the same thrust output on both missions. Clearly visible on the Flight 12 curve is the RVAC engine out at about 180 seconds. Now, as a quick heads up, all telemetry analyzed here is pulled directly from the SpaceX webcast feed, combined with my own derived calculations. To be 100% sure of these trend lines, it would be nice to have SpaceX's complete trajectory. Now back to Flight 12. The vehicle flew a lofted trajectory, as can be seen in this Flight 12 versus Flight 11 comparison, which sparked debate on whether it was intentional or an in-flight adjustment due to the RVAC outage at about 180 seconds. Looking at the altitude graph here for Flight 13, it also uses a steep lofted profile, arguably even steeper. Even though SpaceX doesn't destroy telemetry from hot staging until after the landing burn initiates, my trajectory model and guesstimate indicates a much more lofted profile. Now, whether Flight 12 is less lofted due to an engine out on the booster at about 102 seconds, a less aggressive max Q throttle profile, or a bit of both is impossible to say without official SpaceX data. But what the derived data does indicate is that Flight 13 booster reached a higher apogee than Flight 12. Now, as I suggested in my previous video, see the link here, this directly converts to a higher thrust-to-weight ratio of Block 3 into efficiency. This added acceleration allows Starship to stage higher and closer to the pad, and according to these derived vertical velocity graphs, at a higher vertical velocity than Flight 12. This significantly reduces the propellant needed for Super Heavy's return to launch site boostback. It also pushes the gravity losses largely to the booster and not onto the ship. Now, the higher vertical velocity, likely closer staging profile, possibly, so I'm going to use possibly, explains the shorter planned boostback duration compared to Flight 12. Ultimately, the boostback burn sequence broken down in the telemetry consists of 13 engines for 2 seconds, 33 for 11, back to 13 for 9, and finally 3 engines for 3 seconds, approximately. Now, because Flight 12 wasn't nominal, we really need to wait to Flight 14 to fully benchmark this new boostback profile against another clean run. Now, other massive milestones for this flight include 20 production V3 satellites being deployed, executing a critical in-space Raptor relight, a non-negotiable requirement for deorbit burns once Starship goes fully orbital, and a pinpoint splashdown right in the target zone. Drop a comment with your take on Block 3's new ascent profile, and I'll see you